Where are you at on the Oilers playing this series through the first two games as a whole?
First two periods of game one, they were really good. They were shut completely down in period 3 of game one.
Yeah, good point.
All the Florida Panthers have done is built on that. And so when you think about the chances they had in periods 1 and 2 of game one and an opportunity to win a game, certainly it was there for the Edmonton Oilers. But in the last 4 periods, they have been stymied and stifled and suffocated by the Florida Panthers. When you start to consider how the Florida Panthers play and the adjustments they made, I thought Edmonton was fantastic in those first 2 periods, the way they got out of their zone, the way they stretched the ice, and the way they moved through the neutral zone. You haven't seen any of that. I shouldn't say you haven't seen any of it. Rarely have you seen any of that in the last 4 periods. The only goal they scored was 4-on-4. It was a brilliant play where McDavid trapped the Florida Panthers, and it was a 2-on-1 with Ekblad, and even that was right through the legs of Bobrovsky. Yeah. So, but Florida adjusted. Edmonton didn't. And if Edmonton doesn't adjust, this series is going to be over pretty quickly.
Craig, we do tend to forget sometimes there are 2 teams in this series. The power play, which has carried the Oilers through some dark times this season. It's dry now. It can be a flood, it can be a floodplain, or it can be a total drought, and we're experiencing a drought right now. Is that something the Oilers you find in their game, or something the Panthers are doing to stymie this high-powered power play?
Well, Eric, it's both of those. I mean, obviously, we're given lots of kudos for the Edmonton Oilers killing off 34 consecutive penalties, because their penalty kill was so good. Well, that's what we're seeing now with the Florida Panthers. I think more concerning about the Edmonton Oilers, no good looks. I mean, I know Bouchard hit the outside of the post, Nugent Hopkins hit the crossbar, but all in all, there's no good looks. I mean, they went power plays without any shots. They went power plays without any really significant setup. There was one power play in the second period where McDavid was twisting and turning and twisting and everything, and nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened, because Florida said, we don't care if you're going to play outside the dots. We don't care if you're going to play outside. We're going to defend the middle of the ice, and they did. Edmonton was not able to get the puck in there. A couple of things, Eric. The Edmonton Oilers have scored 1 5-on-5 goal in their last 4 games. That is not a recipe for success, because now what you look to, help us power play, help bail us out. And when you're that weak, and we're talking about no chances. We're not talking about good 5-on-5 play. It'll just come. I know the first 2 periods were much better, but I'm looking at the last 4 periods as the series unfolds. And right now for the Edmonton Oilers, so the power play simply to me is you have to get. They're looking for too many good looks. Forget the good looks and get the puck directed into the net area. Get the defenders turned around and then hunt the puck. It's not just throwing pucks at the net. I don't believe in Dustin, I've used this analogy with football. You don't just throw the ball up in the end zone every time and hope your receiver catches it.
Yeah, there's got to be a plan.
There's got to be a purpose to what you're doing. And the Edmonton Oilers, I think, have to get the puck directed into the net area, turn the defenders around, hunt loose pucks, look to engage in that area. Because right now on the penalty kill, Eric, what the Florida Panthers are able to do, they're able to play on their toes. Look at how many intercepted passes, deflected passes, jumping in front of players. And if you're going to be able to do that as a defending team, you don't even have to worry about behind you. The minute the puck goes to the net, you got to worry now. You got to turn and start defending at your net area. The Edmonton Oilers have not forced the Florida Panthers to defend at their net. And if you want to break down the Florida Panthers, you got to make them defend at their net harder.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought this up, because you mentioned it on the power play, getting to the middle of the ice, 5-on-5. We've seen McDavid find the zone a few times, and they just force him to the outside. He takes a shot from a horrible angle, and nothing happens. So is getting to the middle of the ice more, Craig? Is that a systemic thing? Is that a strategic thing from the Oilers and their coaching staff, or is that just players and the willingness to get to the middle of the ice?
It's again both, but I think there has to be a plan, and the plan. So it's not just like having the puck. I mean, teams are gonna defend hard when you have the puck to prevent you from getting to the middle of the ice, to get into the slot area and in and around the net. But when you put the puck into that net area, into that slot area, and then you have players going to the middle of the ice, Now opportunities ensue. You drag opponents to the front of the net. It would be lovely if every goal could be just a clean shot goal. Could just, you open up, okay, here, just kick it wide, throw it back in the middle, we got a clean shot. It's not the way it works. So you want to drag the Florida Panthers defenders in and around their net, but you got to go to the net and to the slot area without the puck. And one of the things the Edmonton Oilers don't do or haven't done very well in these playoffs is rebound chances. So, if you want to get rebound chances, you got to get the puck into the net. You got to get the puck in and around the feet of the goaltender and create those chances, and then get to the middle of the ice and get to that area. So that's strategic. And to me, and then you have to have the willingness. You can't be a top scoring team in the league without having a willingness to pay a price. And the Edmonton Oilers have been that not only in the regular season, but in the playoffs. But I think now it's about strategic and about saying, hey, puck into the area and we're going there.
TSN's Craig Button joining us on the Nielson Show this morning, Edmonton Sports Talk. Craig, I wanted to get your thoughts. Got a little chippy game too, elbows, jaws, knees, and the sort. The punishment yesterday, though, was for Carrick's stick to the pills, maximum fine allowable. I just wanted to get your thoughts on the punishment dished out yesterday and the punishment that wasn't, involving all of the chippiness from Game 2.
Well, it's a good thing they got that slashing penalty fine. I'm surprised they didn't hand out a fine for diving and embellishment. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me? I think Leon Draisaitl, I think I could make a case for Leon Draisaitl meriting a suspension. It's a blow to the head. He launches and everything. Okay, so they don't. I would like to hear them say why there wasn't any type of supplemental discipline. I mean, we're going to fine Sam Carrick. Are you kidding me? That's how the Department of Player Safety loses credibility. Give me a break. The knee and penalty on Fogle, I think it was classic knee. I thought it was a 5-minute major. It was chippy. And I think for the Edmonton Oilers fans, and maybe it's you get into this part of the playoffs, and I get it. But to me, the action by Leon Draisaitl on Barkov merited a suspension. Whether it would be given a suspension is a different story, but I think the Edmonton Oilers should feel pretty lucky that no supplemental discipline was handed out.
Craig, so with the Oilers and the Panthers have some Bennett's and Kachucks, and these guys can play a greasy game. Is it good for the Oilers to get greasy themselves, or do they try to stick to their game and try to avoid that element of it? What's the better strategy here?
Well, I think the better strategy is play to what your strengths are. Play to who you are. If all of a sudden the Edmonton Oilers are going to try to play like the Florida Panthers, I don't think that's playing to their strengths. What I would say, Dustin, is for the Edmonton Oilers, we're going to play. We're going to play hard. You can knock us down. We're getting ourselves up. We're going to dust ourselves off, and we're going to keep playing. Playing hard and being tough-minded isn't just about delivering hits. It's about saying, we're going to get to this spot on the ice before you. We're going to battle for loose pucks here in every single area, because that's what Florida does. So you have to engage on that area. I don't need anybody to be Sam Bennett. They don't have a Sam Bennett. Just go out and play hard and show that you're not going to get pushed out of the game. I don't think they've been pushed out of a game. Don't get me wrong there. I just think don't start engaging in areas of the game that aren't to your strengths, because now you're playing the game on their terms. And I don't think that plays into the strengths of the Edmonton Oilers. Yeah,
you definitely don't want that. It'll be interesting to see when they get to the morning skate today. Evander Kane didn't take the last morning skate. He only played 10 minutes. Was -3. He's trying to gut it out, obviously, here. Darnell Nurse only ended up playing the 4 minutes. We'll see what his status is. But with the Evander Kane situation, Craig, has it gone to a point where full marks for trying to play through it, but you're not helping the team right now, or do you try to suck a little bit out of him still?
I don't know what you can. I mean, Evander looks like he's trying his best. I mean, and certainly you applaud him too. You just pointed out that, but there's not enough there. There's just nothing. I mean, Evander's best plays now are after the whistle. When I say best plays, I mean where he engages. He can't engage. He can't get involved in the game, skating and getting there to be a hard player. I think right now he's not a functional player. And you can't be. And when you're at this point in the playoffs, you've got to take a player that isn't functioning out of the lineup. We know that, we're not talking about taking Evander Kane out at 70%.
Yeah.
He looks like he's at about 25%. So getting a healthy player in there that can give you some minutes and at least like be healthy and be functioning is better than a non-functioning player. I personally believe that he has to come out of the lineup. I don't think he's helping the cause. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with Darnell, because for Darnell not to be able to play, I mean, it's got to be something that was pretty cumbersome. I guess what we wait to see is how serious is it? Did it kind of resolve itself in a way that will allow him to play? But where he took that hit on that part of the body where you're turning and twisting, and that's what a defenseman does. I mean, if that prevents Darnell Nurse, that's a big loss for the Edmonton Oilers on the blue line, because it's not just losing him; it's the minutes you got to fill in with his absence.
Do you think they got one in them here in Game 3 at home? Like, do you think they come out and they look different than they did in Game 2, or is Florida just too good?
No, I don't think Florida is too good. I think that there was 1-1 going into the third period.
Yeah.
Right? It was 1-1. Okay, so, I mean, a couple of mistakes leads to the eventual winning goal, the Draisaitl penalty on the power play. So they're there. Like, even despite the fact that they had 7 shots after the first 2 periods, they were there, and they weren't exposing themselves in a way that you were going, okay, this is really tilted. So I think if they can get the puck into that net area and then really get after it hard, and make sure that you engage around the net, bring those defenders in and around that. I think they have a game in them. I think we know that Game 3 is huge for the Oilers. I mean, you go down 3-0. I mean, it's just about curtains. But yeah, I think the extra day off, Dustin and Eric, helps the Edmonton Oilers. I think it helps the coaching staff to kind of relax. Okay, what do we do well? What do we need to do better? What can we do to devise a game plan to take advantage of our strengths? So I don't think this series is tilted totally in favor of the Florida Panthers, but the Oilers have to find some answers. Those are the answers I think they can look to, and if they find them, absolutely, they can find a way to win.
Craig, before we let you go, I don't know if you caught at the show at all in the 6 o'clock hour, but people are asking for opinion on this. Joey Chestnut banned from the Nathan's Famous hot dog eating contest because he signed an endorsement deal with a vegan hot dog company. Are you which side are you on in this? Are you on Nathan's Famous or on Joey Chestnut's side?
Like, seriously, you're the champion of the hot dog eating contest. And then you go and, like, he sold out. He sold out going vegan. Like, sorry. Like, no, he doesn't belong. Like, sorry, you're banned. Like, you know, that's just the way it goes.
Great stuff, Craig. We'll check in next week, man.
Have a good Tuesday.
Yeah, see you later.
See you later, Craig.